Hi,
Hello, Lisa.
good morning. It's Sunday morning, and it's been such a while. We haven't had this sit down for longer than we should have waited, right?
Yeah, way too long. But a lot has been going on in our campaign, so I want to first congratulate you on your ability to pull down an endorsement from the South Jersey's Women's Forum.
Thank you. The South Jersey Democratic Women's Forum, yes. My Sisters in Action kindly offered me an endorsement because of the work that we are going to do based on what we say we want to do in Egg Harbor Township Committee. But in the meantime, you pulled down one from the Young Democrats, and let's talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, so it's awesome. So Young Democrats is anybody that's under the age of 40, and it is an awesome honor to have South Jersey and New Jersey Young Democrats endorse our campaign, more specifically me, but it is a proud honor to have that endorsement and to have their work going into our campaign with volunteer efforts and campaign contributions. So
Yes.
Moving forward, it's going to be a great year to have their help.
That's right. That's right. It's wonderful. And I'm just a little bit upset that I'm not one of the young. Okay.
Oh, I'm sliding out of it myself, so don't worry.
You mentioned our campaign was busy. Our campaign has been busy. Look, 30 days left. We are really getting into the nitty gritty and going to be taking it down to the wire very shortly. We hope that everyone has had an opportunity to see our ads in the Current over the past, as a matter of fact, last Thursday's Current. If you haven't seen that, did we put that on our webpage yet?
We have not put that on our webpage yet, but it will be up soon, shortly.
Yeah, check back. Please see that. It's an informative ad about what is going on in the other side of the, the opposite party's campaign and what we're doing, okay? What we're bringing to light. And also, people should have gotten their ballots. You got your ballot?
Yes, I have my ballot officially in my hand. I am excited this year. Unfortunately, we don't get to vote in person, but I do have my first ever national mail-in ballot, or state ballot, but national races on it.
It's very, very exciting that that everyone's getting an opportunity to vote safely through mail-in. And if you have a condition that doesn't allow you to do that, and you need to go into the polling place, just be aware that you can do that. Your ballot will be called provisional at this moment until they verify information about it, and then it will be counted as a normal ballot. You would still fill out one in the polling place. It would be provisional. So just be aware of that. But if that's how you need to do it, then by all means, whatever you got to do to vote, vote. That's the important thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's the most important democratic. It's the most important democratic duty that you have as a citizen of the United States, is to vote, vote, vote. And thank God, like you said, keeping everybody safe. Everybody has a mail-in ballot, so you have no reason not to send this in.
Very true. There are some questions about this, though, aren't there, Franco? We wanted to tell people, we wanted to give them a step-by-step guide on how to do this, right? So you've prepared a little show and tell?
Yeah, well, we prepared a little show and tell. So the first thing is first, you're going to be receiving your ballot inside of an envelope. We're going to open up that envelope, rip it open, get excited about it, because this is going to be an opportunity to vote all of the races, right? So we have all the races, starting at the national races with the presidential, the Senate, then it goes down to the House of Representatives, all the county races for sheriff, surrogate, and then
The
freeholders. And then down at the bottom is going to be
March and Rivera.
Lisa and I. And we're going to ask you to go ahead and fill in those circles. Now, you can only use blue or a black pen. Do not use pencil. Make sure that you fill in the circles fully and completely. Now, if by chance you have a crazy child, like I have two of them, and they mistakenly bump you or antagonize you and you deface the front of the ballot, you can, of course, contact the county clerk to get a new ballot, right? That new ballot will be just the same. You just go ahead and fill in that circle, and then we can go ahead and move forward to the back of the ballot, where there are, of course, 3 public questions. Now, don't forget that at the bottom of the ballot also there are your school board choices.
Right. That's important too.
Yeah, that is the most important. That, you know, in the Egg Harbor Township, 64 cents of every dollar goes to our school board. So we want people to manage that money correctly and efficiently, and that is the most important vote, right?
Yes.
And then on the back,
3 of these seats, 3 of these, there's 6 choices, 3 of which are returning school board members, and 3 are new school board members. So
correct. Yep. So pick 3.
yeah.
So let's get into it. Me and Lisa are going to be, obviously we want you to vote for us in column B. Lisa and Frank down at the bottom against Hodson and Frommer, but please vote for us. But on the back of the ballot is the most important questions this year, and that is, starting with question number 1, the legalization of recreational marijuana and its impact to our community. Now, obviously, I am a staunch proponent of voting yes to this question. 1, because it creates a equity amongst races. Now, if you're a person of color, you're probably 4 times more likely to get pulled over and charged for possession of marijuana than if you were to be a white counterpart. Not to say that you're not pulled over and charged with it, but in the instances, you probably are more likely to get charged with that. So we're creating equality with that. But we're also creating an entrepreneurial opportunity for young folks to get involved in business and opening up stores that sell cannabis and cannabis-related products, whether that be CBD or THC, right? So it's a great opportunity to get needed tax dollars into our community by opening this up and ending the prohibition.
Yes. Yeah. I was so happy that you mentioned the fact that the reason why this, one of the reasons why this is so important is because of the equity in between persons of color who may have been stopped or found with small amounts of marijuana. You know, we're not talking about drug dealers here, people. We're talking about people who have small amounts perhaps and have been found to have those amounts and then have had their lives ruined.
Offended. Yep.
Yes, by something that should not be. And it is not equitably distributed across all racial groups and economic groups, and knowing, you know, persons who have influence, perhaps. Okay. We wanted to see this to be equitably handled through the legalization of marijuana. That is no longer a question, all right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, most of the time this is impacting young men, and young men are going to be charged with a felony. Now, that felony could impact the rest of their lives. So let's vote yes for this. Let's get this off of people's records, and let's go forward with a just society and voting yes for question 1, the legalization of marijuana. Now, let's go on to question number 2. Now, question number 2 is for me, a very important subject, and that is the property tax deduction and exemption for peacetime veterans. Now, in the state of New Jersey, veterans are, I got crazy children in the background, sorry.
Life happens.
So veterans are, if you're a veteran and you served in a wartime theater, you are entitled to a combat medal. Usually that combat medal for me would be Iraq, and for some would be Afghanistan, Vietnam, Korea, so on and so forth. But when you come back to Jersey, you would apply for veteran benefits, and that veteran benefit would give you a $250 discount on your property taxes. Now, that property tax can do a lot for people, or put extra money inside of their pockets so that they can pay for services due to their veteran-related injuries, right? And also, if you were injured, you would get 100% tax deduction or 100% discount of your property taxes, and that would go to obviously pay for your extensive injuries due to war. Now, a lot of the times, more and more, we see a lot of people joining our armed services, Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard, and they are not getting deployed into theater anymore. That's because of the reduced numbers in those theaters, but they are deployed internationally. And sometimes these international locations aren't marked as a war. They are just marked as a forward deployment. And it's unfair to them to come back to New Jersey and not see some type of discount for their services. You know, we ask men and women to serve, and they do so, and then they come home and they are treated like everybody else. You know, that's unfair. I know a lot of people that didn't get a combat medal, and you know, they're a veteran like me, a veteran like your husband, a veteran like a lot of people that I know, and they should be deserving of that $250 discount in property taxes.
Yeah, absolutely. And there doesn't seem to be any good reason why that should not be the case for every person who takes the step of choosing to serve their country in whatever their country asks for. Obviously, if you go into the service and you never were sent away to a war, well, there you go. But you just never know, right?
Yep.
And once you decide to serve, you absolutely should be recognized as a veteran and afforded all benefits. So we say yes on that.
Vote yes on that question. And then we're going into public question number 3, was the constitutional amendment to change the legislative redistricting schedule if the census data is delayed. Now, this has to do with the Trump administration's efforts to, one, cut off the census early, and 2, to delay the census information so that they can retract information in regards to quote unquote illegal citizenry. So,
Well, and the reason why we really wanted to address this too is because I got a friend of mine reached out to me and was very confused by this wording, and we thought perhaps that was the case with some of you out there. There are 2 schools of thought on this, and Franco and I, we even are not on the same page as far as this is concerned. Franco, you say vote
no. Yeah, I'm for voting no, because this gives the opportunity for the New Jersey State Attorney General to sue the federal government to get accurate census data so that we can confirm and the redistricting schedule with accurate information. Now, this will be a lot better than trying to guess how many people are inside of that legislative district and try to draw a map around it. I'd rather have the accurate information. So I want the Attorney General to sue the federal government to get the accurate information that forces it out of the federal government's hand and puts it into the public domain.
Now, I'm going to say that there's another side of this question, and we're leaving this up to you folks to decide what you think makes better sense to you. A yes vote supports that a postpone of the state legislative redistricting process until after the election of 2021. If the state receives the data right after the beginning of this new year. So, okay, so they're in February of 2021, the information would be due, and they would then redistrict after the next election. If you think that that's fine, keeping the state legislatures in place until such time as 2023, because that's what that effect would have, then you vote yes. So what we're saying is this is your call. You need to know that you can vote yes or vote no based on what you think is what we need to do for this census, because of the census delay. And is there anything else that we need to let people know right now? How about if they want to track their ballot?
Yeah, so I think that the most important part is that tracking your ballot is going to be the most crucial part. So you can go to the county clerk's webpage and look up that information. There is a block where you can track your ballot that will bring you to the USPS. You go ahead and sign up for that information, and you can track your ballot from your house to the county clerk's office. But we're going to ask you to do that early and soon, like right now. Fill out that ballot, track that ballot. and get that done. Now, if you're waiting to October 15th, it might be a little bit too late. We know that the Trump administration has been doing their biggest efforts to try to delay ballots getting back to the county clerks. So we want to avoid that. So get your ballot filled out early, send it back early. Now, if you're after October 15th, we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to get that ballot in. So there are many things that you can do. So one, you can actually fill out your ballot, put it inside of the security ballot, and make sure that you sign it. If somebody fills out the ballot for you, you want to make sure that you have that information on that ballot. So if you have a friend or family member fill out that ballot, that information is going to go on here. You are still going to sign it. That's saying that you were the one to make sure that that is your ballot and that is your choices. You're going to take your ballot, secure it inside of your security ballot by lifting up this and securing in there. And then you're going to take
off that flap.
Do not tear off that flap. That flap is the most important. And we're going to take this ballot and we're going to secure it inside of here, making sure that your name and information is inside of the window.
Right. There you go. Yep.
All right. And of course, if you're letting somebody else take this ballot to the county clerk's office, you want to make sure that they sign here with their bearer information. Now, no person can carry more than 3 ballots to the county clerk, right? But you can take your ballot once it's all inside of here, inside of your security envelope. You can put it in the mail. We're asking you to do that before October 15th, but you can take it to one of 2 locations in Egg Harbor Township, and that will be where, Lisa?
The municipal building on Bargaintown Road, or Fire Road, as it may also be known, or the Atlantic County Clerk's, Atlantic County Clerk in Hamilton. It's actually 3. And what was it? Did I miss one?
The community center. The community center on
Community Center on English Creek Avenue. There's also a ballot box there. Thank you for that reminder. So there's actually, you can go also to the clerk's office in Mays Landing, English Creek Community Center, or Bargaintown Road, Fire Road, the municipal building ballot box. No postage is necessary. If you do decide to mail this, let's get those ballots in and get them in right away.
Yep. Yep, and then of course on election day, you can vote in person, but those will be a provisional ballot, or you can take this ballot and hand it to an elections person at one of 13 locations in Egg Harbor Township. Those locations will be put to our webpage and our Instagram and Facebook to let you know where those 13 locations are. But yes, you can take it on the day, election day, and hand it to a elections official.
Good. All right then. So I think we covered all the bases, right?
Yes, we did. And it was great talking with you, Lisa. And I look forward. I'm upset that I didn't get to stay the whole day in yesterday's discussion about police reform and behind the badge.
Yeah, Beyond the Badge. That was a nice community event, folks. I did post just a little bit about that. There's just a community gathering of folks who wanted to meet with our police department, get to know them better, get to know what some of their policies are, and ask some questions. Those are going to be going forward. They will have more of those, and I'm sure that there'll be more people invited. It was a smaller group because of COVID at this time, but hey, we're happy to interact with our police department, get to know them, and them to get to know us.
Yep.
Yep.
So listen, it's great talking with you. Go Birds. Go Birds. I don't have a lot of optimism given the fact we have a hard time winning, but go Birds nonetheless. So hey, Lisa, it's great talking with you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And let's go get out there, vote, and vote. Sending your ballot via the mail or before October 15th, or get that to a box or an official by November 3rd. All right.
Very good. Take care. Bye.
See you, folks.